Let's talk Pulsechain today, particularly PDAI, the stablecoin on Pulsechain. Is it gonna peg or is it not going to peg? So you're gonna want to stick around, stay tuned, like and subscribe. Let's get straight into it. First of all, shout out to Pulsechain. It's been coming up a little bit, still in the sacrifice price, but it's close to getting back up to those levels again, because lawsuits, there's a lot of stuff coming up, especially in the beginning of to the middle of next year. And it's gonna be epic, man. Now let's just go straight to it. I seen Trevon posted this one. This is an interesting video now that I've seen. Shout out to him. I don't know where he got this from, but this is a dope video. It basically explains the reason, this guy in the video had his own arguments as to why he thinks Ricky is behind PDAI and it could just peg. And I'm gonna chime in. So let's take a look at this snippet. It's about an hour long, but we're not gonna watch all of it, just a tidbit. Take a listen.
In this video, I will run through a very quick recap of how we know PDAI is a Richard Heart project, the recent activity on MakerDAO on Pulsechain and what the implications are, the community's proposal to peg PDAI, and in this section I will run through what the proposal is, why it would peg PDAI, and the proposal process itself. Finally, and most importantly, I will go through why the pegging of PDAI is central to the success of Pulsechain and everything on it. So first, the quick recap of how we know Richard is behind PDAI. We can see on chain that he minted the extra PDAI supply, increasing it from 5 billion to 22 billion. We know this as it was pre-coded to execute at launch. We tracked 2 addresses directly from the Pulsechain GitLab, the code repository Richard's team used to develop Pulsechain. And we saw that the AMM bot address minted at least 500 million PDAI, and the comprehensive accounting address minted at least 4.6 billion PDAI. That's 5.1 billion of the PDAI that we have directly accounted for, and that is through millions upon millions of transactions on chain through these addresses. Also, we can see on chain that Richard took over MakerDAO on Pulsechain. We know a wallet ending 2822 is Richard's, as it received 6.7 trillion PulseX and 6.3 trillion Pulse at the time of Pulsechain's launch. To have this much, this wallet would have had to sacrifice $5.1 billion worth of crypto, and at the worst possible price during the sacrifices. This is Richard's wallet. And we can see he used it to coordinate and assist in the takeover of MakerDAO on Pulsechain. This is a flowchart of the steps that were taken to take over MakerDAO on Pulsechain. I'm not going to spend time on this as I cover this in detail in my previous video, but Richard's wallet had the ability to block the eventual takeover of PMaker. But instead of blocking it, he used his holdings to enable it. If you want to understand more about this section, watch my previous video titled Richard's Stablecoin. There's been some really exciting developments recently on MakerDAO on Pulsechain, but I don't think the majority of people have fully grasped the implications of what's been happening. The PDAI supply had been set at 22 billion for over a year, but on the 22nd of September, the supply began to increase. There was panic amongst the community, and people who were against PDAI were quick to come out and call it a scam. In a matter of days, the supply went from 22 billion to 22.8 billion. So what happened to cause this? Someone was taking out a flash loan from the balancer protocol. A flash loan is a loan that you can take out and then pay back within the same transaction. This is the transaction that was being carried out. Someone began by borrowing amounts of PUSDC, which was priced at 0.0018. They then were depositing the PUSDC into PMaker, minting PDAI, which at the time was priced nearly 70% higher at 0.0026. They were then taking that higher price PDAI and swapping it for a larger amount of PUSDC than they had taken out as a loan. They used a portion of the PUSDC they now had to repay the flash loan they had taken out. All within the same transaction. This resulted in profit and increasing the price of PUSDC. And they did this until on the 25th of September, both PDAI and PUSDC were the same price.
Bam. There you have it. So, this is the process that he repeated and repeated and repeated over and over again until PUSDC and PDAI become pretty much the same price. And this reminds me of a certain video. I don't know if maybe someone can pull it off, but maybe Smart can pull it off, or somebody, I don't know, whoever can pull that video off. Because listen, about 2 years ago, I've seen a video of Ricky. Some guy was interviewing him, and the guy was like, yo, Ricky, how are you planning on pegging all of these stable coins on Pulsechain? And Ricky looked at him dead in the eyes and was like, oh, I have a few tricks. And watching what you just seen, this flash loan right here, and him repeating the process over and over again until PUSDC and PDAI were able to be like 1-to-1 ratio. That's crazy. That's insane to me. This shows you that Richard Hart is some kind of magician or some kind of trickster. I don't know how he does it, but he did it with Hex. So I'm telling you, bro, if he's able to do this, you might see PDAI at some crazy prices, and you're gonna be wondering, how did I miss this peg? I'm just gonna leave it at that, bro. What you see right here, bro, is right in front of you. And yeah, I think Mr. Zuni is gonna have a field day. Shout out to Mr. Zuni with this one. I was in a space with Mr. Zuni and talking about Richard for a couple of weeks ago, and Mr. Zuni was like, yep, that's how he's in trouble. Yeah, y'all seen this? People don't really think about these things. But the thing is, though, with Richard Hart, what he does, and this is pretty much blockchain technology. You just have to understand the game and how you gonna peg these things, how you gonna run it. If you don't understand the backgrounds of flash loaning and lending and borrowing and taking money out of here, putting it there, making it grow a little bit, then taking it out, you won't understand crypto. So this is the backgrounds of pretty much crypto and what's going on. A lot of people see stuff like this and they get put off. Oh yeah, well, this looks like a scam, but actually it's not. If you look at the stock market, some of the stuff that they do behind the scenes is similar to this, But yeah, man, it's just like it's crazy. But one thing I had to mention though is I don't think Richard Hart would ever claim to be behind PDAI, bro. Even though there's clear-cut proof that he might be behind it, because it's the biggest wallet that holds PDAI. But one thing I see though is that he's gonna distance himself away from it. He's doing this stuff in the background, allegedly, but he will distance himself away from it because of the Satoshi effect. The guy in the video mentioned Maker, crazy how the MakerDAO lead developer at the time, just recently they found him in Puerto Rico. He passed on, he's gone. No one knows what happened to him. Someone take him out or whatever. This is some serious stuff that's going on with blockchain. There's a lot of people that are creating, and if you study MakerDAO, the technology within itself, you would know that this is the closest things to decentralization you would ever get. And if it becomes a threat towards governments, people are gonna come after you for doing that. So why would you associate yourself with stuff like that? So even if you're the guy behind it, you tend to distance yourself from it. That's what Satoshi Nakamoto, the group, quote unquote, did back in 2011 when the WikiLeaks and stuff come out. They knew when they created Bitcoin, they showed out, we got one. And this one could actually disrupt the entire world's global financial ecosystem. So what they did with Bitcoin after they created it, they distanced themselves with it. Once WikiLeaks and Julian Assange and all these people came out, Satoshi, the group, was like, all right, man, we're leaving. This is in good hands with Gavin Anderson and all these other lead developers. Adam Beck and all of these guys. We out. Because they got scared, they got spoofed. The founder of MakerDAO is gone. And if you create some stable coins like this, and Richard Hart, he likes DAI, and apparently the people who created the DAI, the stable coin, I think he knows them or something. I don't know what's going on in there, but a large sum of the sacrifice funds actually held on DAI on Ethereum is just sitting there, about 600 million or something at one time. So if you have something like that so decentralized, it's scary to be the face of it, the forefront of it. That's why you haven't seen him mention PDAI or anything of that nature, because he knows he's trying to avoid scrutiny when it comes to the authorities and people just coming after him. That's why I don't think he would ever come, even if PDAI pegs to $1 and he's the one responsible for doing that. He would never, I don't think he would ever take that credit. That's what I'm trying to say, because this kind of thing is crazy, man. It's scary. It's scary, but hey, it's blockchain technology. You have to learn a lot of this stuff to be able to understand it and see what's really going on in these markets, you know. That's just is what it is, man. And as for Pulsechain, yeah, it's looking good right now. And my target for Pulsechain is just end of the year, like I said, end of next year, November, December, January 2026-ish time frame, because the lawsuit would kind of XRP this pretty much, Ripple XRP. How the SEC and Ripple's lawsuit back and forth, and that slowed down XRP in 2021 and it didn't perform much. If this lawsuit with Richard Hart drags on, that's probably what could happen to Pulsechain. It's gonna pump, but it might take time to do so. I'm just gonna leave it at that, but that's my opinion. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm still accumulating my PLS. Like, if I make some money on anything on Pulsechain, it's coming back to PLS and Hex on Pulsechain. That's it. I don't have much of the incentive token. I don't got much PulseX, but I know PLS. Whatever the founder holds the most of, he likes that coin. This one here, it's a sleeper. It's a sleeping giant in my opinion. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like up the video, share it, subscribe for some crypto content. I have been Mr. Nakamoto Crypto, and I'm out.